Brouhaha comedy at Vintage Villains.
94.9 K-Rock, Danville's rock station. It's the Rock Nation, and yet again, more comedy coming to town as Ripper the Clowns join me, and Rick Omundson is on this diatribe coming up this weekend. How are you doing, first of all? It's been a couple of months since you've been in.
It has. Thanks for having me back. I love talking to you.
I appreciate it. Okay. Rick Omundson, I've known for a very long time, but another lineup coming up Saturday night. Tickets are available, $8 in advance. The night of the show, $10, right at 126 North Vermilion Street. This is brought to you by the guys down at Gold Rush Pawnbrokers, as well as Woodards Computing Service, Chuck and Cloud's Vape Shop, and it's all brought to you by the Barber Shop in Westville. I got that stuff. Now you get to talk about the show.
You got it all in. This is going to be an amazing show. We're down at Vintage Villains, and we've got Rick Omundson headlining. Again, you know Rick. He's a great guy. He's kind of a legend in this area. He really is.
And I know legend's a little strong, but I'll let it slide.
I mean, what hasn't this guy done? You know, he had his own kids show.
You know, it's funny, he doesn't like to talk about that.
I know, and he allegedly has video, but he won't let me see it.
What's funny about that is Jake Surd talked to him one time about that, and jokingly made reference to that. It made him bristle. I'm just so, don't make... Okay, actually ask Rick about his children's show and see if he'll put on some YouTube video for you, but he's going to headline.
Yeah, I would love it if he put some on YouTube, and he also, he was on America's Funniest People back in the day.
You know what, he mentioned that.
Yeah.
So, is it fair to say, and by the way, I jive Rick a lot, that he passed by it, meaning he kind of started in a way, and I'm being dead serious on this question. When you're actually have your kids' show and you're on America's Funniest People, is that your shot? You know what I mean? Literally. I mean, I like to ask him, but I ask you because you know Rick really well.
Yeah.
What have you been on?
What have I been on? I've got a YouTube channel, Ripper the Clown Show. Views heard from people around the world who have watched my videos, but you know, it's not as cool as being on America's Funniest People, I have to say.
But you had a shot though to go on what's the one? The America's Got Talent.
Yeah, they contacted me actually, and I turned it down because you would have to sign to get on the show. Just to audition, you had to sign your likeness over and your material over to them. And I would not do that. Basically
100% copy.
Oh, yeah. And I told the producer, I was like, you know, basically you could do a Ripper the Clown TV show if you wanted to. And she was like, of course, we could, if you sign that contract. So I was like, you know, thanks, but no thanks.
And I did that on purpose, because that kind of sums up the talent that's going to be at Vintage Villains Saturday night. Is you, Omundson, some guys have had some shots, and some big shots. So talk about the rest of the show. There's a lot going on.
You know what? I'm really proud of this roster. I really am. Again, Rick Omundson headlining. Larry Smith, brilliant comedian out of Springfield. I've seen him perform twice on both instances. He's won awards for his comedy, including the first time I saw him perform, which was his debut. Chris Duncheon, he received first place at the Pop Goes Culture Variety Show we did back in October for his debut comedy act. And then we have Pamela Adam, who's well known throughout the local stage community. I mean, she's portrayed pop culture icons like Morticia Addams and Mary Poppins. And then Aaron Martin, who was the star of his own TV show over on UPTV in Urbana. And I'm a big fan of Aaron's work. He's a powerful, his comedies are so powerful and intense. Okay. It's amazing.
Is it going to be, now when you say that, Rick's stuff is pretty much right down the barrel. And if you're saying Aaron's is kind of the same way, where's that soft piece? Does Pamela come in and kind of soften the blow a little bit?
I think Pamela will be, yes.
Because you're going to need to catch your breath at some point.
Yes, and you know what? I never know what Pamela is going to do. Sometimes she'll sing, sometimes she won't. So, you know, it could very well be that she'll, you know, deliver a song to the crowd that night.
Talking with Ripper the Clown, Brouhaha Comedy Show 5, Saturday night, North Vermilion, $10 at the door, $8 in advance. You're going to get 5 comics. And then, of course, Ripper's going to be doing not only the emceeing piece, but also doing some of your own stand-up. Talk to somebody through the show who's never been to one of your Brouhaha shows.
The very first act on the show is open to a rookie, and I'm really proud of this aspect of the show because when I first started doing comedy, I had a couple people help me, but no one really went out of their way to do it. And so when I started running my own shows, I said to myself, I want to do something to help the new people who maybe won't have a chance elsewhere to get on a show.
Sure.
So since the second show, the first spot has been open to a rookie. And on the first show we did that, it was Jimbe Jake Duncheon. This time it's his brother Chris.
Got it.
And then we'll have, you know, after that first spot and the opening act, the rookie appears. We'll do the rest of the show. We'll have sponsors interact from time to time. We'll have a few sponsor prizes as well.
Nice.
So, you know, I want everyone to have a good time at these shows, and we've always had a really good turnout. So it makes me realize we're doing a good job of what we're doing.
Not that I gauge, you know, I'm a big fan of freedom of speech, but do you say you might not want to bring your 6, 7? Where's it gauged in the adult world?
Exactly. I always tell everyone to, whatever, you just know that the content will probably be adult.
Sure.
And that, to make your choice if you want to bring your child. If you want to, that's your decision.
Strong comedy show, Saturday night. Rick Omundson, the headliner. Larry Smith, Chris Duncheon, Pamela Adam, Aaron Martin, Vintage Villains, and Ripper the Clown's been my guest. It's at 126 North Vermilion Street, $8 in advance, $10 at the door. Real quick shout out to Gold Rush Pawnbrokers, Woodards Computing Services, Chuck and Cloud's Vape Shop, as well as the main sponsor of the Barber Shop in Westville. Love having you on, Ripper. Really
Likewise. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Support local comedy. It's tough to come by, and especially when it's this caliber. More rock next.
Brouhaha comedy at Vintage Villains.